We're live.
Welcome to, I know, welcome to Mercury in retrograde. And if you are a projector, but you're living in a world that only speaks generator, then you are welcome here.
Or if you love a projector. It really feels often like we are on a different wavelength from everyone else, and sometimes even ourselves, and definitely when the tech does not want to play along.
Yes, I am currently having to like alt tab to get from one thing to the other thing. Anyway, but that's why we're here. I feel like the universe really wants us to be so real in this. And wish granted. But welcome to Projectors in the Wild. We are sharing our raw truth about life, parenthood, and business as projectors navigating a generator world.
Yes, we are, folks. I'm Heather Vickery. I'm a transformation coach, author, speaker, podcaster, and I help conscious leaders lead from joy. Because when joy is your foundation and not your destination, everything shifts.
And I'm Natalie Barnett, a success coach helping business owners to blast through their blocks and unlock their potential.
Okay, you guys, let's get real. As projectors, we are natural guides and leaders, but we're not great followers. And on this show, we're spilling all the tea. We're talking about the wins, the losses, the mistakes, the what the hell just happened moments.
That's us. Okay, whether
That's
you're a
us
projector
right
ready to
now.
bring your magic or just trying to understand your projector people, grab a seat. This ride's about to get wild. That was different.
It was different. I know. I texted you about it and I was like, I'm just going to do it. And then we'll see if we like it or if we don't like it. I was trying to tighten it.
Yeah. Well, I think it was good.
We can change it. We can do whatever we want, but we are off the cuff and we're laughing. Yes, we do. I like that we do this. And you're right. The universe really wants us to just
Yeah.
show up, bitches.
Here we are,
I
bitches.
run on feminism, caffeine, and social justice and honesty. I know. I know. I need some tea, actually, is what I need. Can't have any more coffee right now, but
I need to, I was just thinking this. I need to shift maybe to decaf. I just like coffee. It's not even so much I need caffeine. I just like it.
yep.
And I need to shift, like switch to decaf in the afternoon because I just want to know, especially when it gets cold. I want something
Yes.
warm. And I don't like tea. I'll just be honest. I don't like it. So I just need decaf then maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. One other thing, well, I don't know if they make it an instant. This is really random for anybody who's watching this. It's just life. Sometimes this is when Natalie and I catch up. We buy, and it sounds like it's going to be awful, but it's not instant coffee.
Mhm.
And I buy a Cuban brand that is delicious. And if they had a decaf of that, so you could just like make the cup that you need, although you have a Starbucks cup, you could just order decaf, obviously.
This
Um,
this is a
but I love it.
refillable one that I got on their red
Oh,
cup
okay.
thing.
So you made coffee at
Made
home
it at
then.
home.
Yeah, you can switch to decaf. But I like the instant because it's you don't have to deal with whether you're a K cup user or a we stopped using K cups, but um it's just easy. Like you just
Yeah.
boil the water and it's easy.
But
But I
then
do like tea.
yeah. I mean, I'll drink it every once in a while, but I never want that instead of coffee.
Yeah. It's I want them for different reasons at different times. And
Yeah.
if I want one, the other will not suffice. It's not like
Right.
a substitute. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny that that comes up though, because I have an entire drawer full of tea, like probably 20 different types of tea. And over the weekend, well, I guess it wasn't over the weekend, over Thanksgiving holiday, I don't know if it was during the, I don't remember, whatever, sometime last week, um, I wanted tea and I was at my mom's house. And she's not a tea drinker, but I thought she must have tea here somewhere. And I scoured her house. Not one box, not even a little Lipton, English breakfast, nothing. I was like, what the fuck? Who doesn't have at least one type of tea? But maybe it's you.
Well, you know what the funny thing is I do have it because there's a part of me that wants to like it, but I just never choose it. So, but at the end
Interesting.
of the year, I usually like, oh, well, this has been here for a while. I need to toss that.
You can keep them. It's not going to go bad. But I use them all sorts of different flavors and senses, and I think okay. So to tie this back into human design and being projectors and knowing what is for you and what isn't for you, I
Mhm.
use it sort of as a, I don't want to say a mood stabilizer, but to complement whatever I'm feeling. So um sometimes it's energy, sometimes it's rest, so whatever it is. So if I'm really being authentic with myself and checking in with myself, sometimes almost like picking an affirmation for the day, I'm like, oh, this is the tea that goes with the space I'm in
Ooh, I like that.
today.
I really like that. I wonder if I looked at it like that because there. Okay, so there's like what is it called? There was a tea that my aunt used to make. I think it was called Constant Comment or something like that.
Hmm.
It's like an
Okay.
orangey. There's like orange peel in it, and maybe it's kind of like holiday spicy type thing.
Okay, my partner loves that.
And I mean, I think I kind of liked that one, but yeah, I like that. Just like, what's the vibe for today?
Hmm.
Like it.
I love a good red tea, a good rooibos, like a vanilla rooibos,
Mm.
that it feels sweet, but not too sweet. And I don't typically drink sweet coffee. We're just random as fuck, 6.5 minutes in, you guys.
Yeah, welcome.
But
Buckle.
I think, tell me, Natalie, my perception of all of this is that this is like, today has felt really fascinating. I won't call it a clusterfuck because it's been a fairly productive day, but I woke up today and I was like, what the hell happened in November? I mean, and
Mhm,
I know what happened
mhm, mhm.
in November. It was both like the longest month of my life and the shortest. It feels like November 1st through 5th was 5 or 6 lifetimes ago.
Yes.
I know, and this is just me, and your story is totally different because I watch you. I did not show up and do the things I need to do to run my business very well in November.
Mm.
But what I did do was show up for myself.
Yeah.
And I need to make money, but I really honored what I needed because I knew if I pushed too hard, um, it wasn't going to work. But then I was reviewing some quantum human design stuff today
Mm.
through Karen Curry Parker. And the way she describes bitterness is profound. Let's see if I can find it because I just had it out. It was really, really, really interesting. It's fascinating. Let me find it. The trickster, those are things. It was really fascinating because I was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this right now.
Mhm.
And I can catch myself doing it. And that's a good thing. She always says that your not self themes are really important because they're information. They help
Yeah.
you know what, you should be doing and when you should be doing it. Why can't I find this? Oh, here it is. Feeling unheard and unseen and feeling burnout.
Yeah.
And that will show up, like it creates bitterness.
Yeah.
And so if I'm using her lens, I definitely feel tired, but more than that, I definitely feel unheard and unseen, and it's frustrating and it makes me not want to show up more. And then if I'm really honest, I'm like, yeah, no, that's all me.
Mhm.
It's all me. I didn't do all the showing up. Um, but I think it's okay because that's not what I needed to take care of myself.
Yeah, yeah, it's like having that expectation of an outcome, but knowing that maybe not all the boxes were checked and the things weren't done to have that outcome, but it's still like we're just programmed to feel that disappointment or whatever,
Yeah.
frustration because we so desperately want to be seen and heard and understood. And that came up for me today with some breath work. I was like, there's some deep fear of being misunderstood.
Oh,
And it's like it's almost like from any angle. Like this person's not going to think I'm this enough. This person's not going to think I'm that enough. There is no way to be understood by every single person if you are truly showing up as yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mic drop. I mean, that's just so accurate. And we want to please everybody and we want to be for everyone. And we're not. And it's actually interesting that you say that. I I always say I'm not for everyone, and that's fine. And I mean that when I say it, but also it really sucks to be rejected. But
Yeah.
I was meeting with my online business manager earlier today, and recognizing that everyone in my audience, my target client, is going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, well, I have to remember that not everybody's going through what I'm going through. And I'm like, that's not true because my target client is.
Yeah.
And I just need to really let that be okay. And what that says to me is I need to maybe go further in on
Mm-hmm.
owning those emotions, owning sort of the woo that's attached
Mm-hmm.
to it. I'm not sure I was super authentic. I was authentic, but I didn't go far enough
Yeah.
in my website language to bring in all of the spiritual elements because I was afraid that it would not translate to some people. And I think I'm realizing that I don't need it to translate to those people.
This is very interesting. I think when we zoom out and you look at things from a further out lens. Not saying it's so good that this happened, but in a way, it really did help you to see, okay, I can go deeper here. I actually have to go deeper here if I'm going to help the people that I'm supposed to help, and
Got to make notes.
call in the people that you want to help, more of them. And what if the people that you're supposed to call in, that what you're going to say and go deeper on the woo and stuff, that's what they need to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a 1-3, I need to talk about it out loud while I'm doing it.
Yeah. And how cool is that? Because you can talk about it out loud and like share about it on YouTube, share about it on LinkedIn as you're figuring it, as you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Easier said than done because I hear that and I'm excited. And also, I'm like, well, I just kind of want to go back to bed.
That's kind of that. I don't know what the energy of the cosmos is right now today, but I'm very like lower energy, lower on the motivation, and my motivation arrow is facing right, so that's
Yes.
normal for me.
Yeah.
And I have things that I'm excited about and I want to do, but I'm just like, eh, I can't do it right now. And so I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
It is okay. I mean, I did wake
Yeah.
up actually, it started yesterday with a little bit of a sense of, okay, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how, but we're going to
Mm-hmm.
do this. And then I had to laugh. I'll pull this out. So I was revisiting this morning my Mercury gate and my Venus gate. So I don't know how much you know about those, but your Mercury gate is your brand voice, and your Venus gate is your monetization
Okay. Mercury
path.
brand voice.
If you
Okay.
know yours, I can pull them up. We're just like so random today. That's cool. But, and I look at it, I know it, but I always pull it up. My Mercury is communication, right?
Hmm.
Brand. So it's the fifth gene key, the fifth gate. And the shadow of that is impatience.
Yeah.
The gift is patience. And the city, and I can explain that for people who don't know it, is timelessness. So the shadow is the shadow, right? And then
Yeah.
when you're aligned, but not necessarily, so it's almost like imagine the big leap. You're
Yeah.
in your zone of excellence, but not quite your zone of genius. That's sort
Yeah.
of the differentiation there.
Hmm.
Um, that's what the city is. But it says within the fifth gene key lies the great secret of the timing of life. The gene key is about trusting or not trusting the universal rhythm of natural timing. It's about surrender. Like that's literally that is my message. Like learn yourself, trust yourself, surrender to the process. Impatience is not a natural feature of human characterization. It's just wild. Like I'm like
Yeah.
I do this. Like this is my brand. Like
Hmm.
trusting yourself, knowing right timing, listening to yourself. Patience is not the same thing as waiting. You
Yeah.
can wait both patiently or impatiently.
Oh, yeah.
Patience is the natural ground for your being, whereas impatience arises out of fear and conditioning.
Yes. Okay. That makes like, waiting is just a part of life, but like you can choose to be patient or impatient.
Yes. Patience is about trust. So that's like that really is my brand, like
Yeah.
trusting yourself, trusting the process, doing all of that. So that was kind of wild. And
Yeah.
then my Venus is the 11th, which is obscurity, idealism, and light. So also just really interesting. Do you know what yours are?
So I can never remember what the little, signs for the different planets are. Like which
Okay,
one
I
is
can.
Mercury?
Yep. So, and you look on your conscious side, not your unconscious side.
Okay.
So, Mercury is the one that looks like a little person with ears. I
Okay.
can probably pull your chart up too.
Is is there a little crossy thing at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So
those are like the arms. I'm like, it's like a little person with ears.
yeah, there we go. Oh, and now I see it. Okay, yeah, like a little alien. Okay, 61.
61. Okay, so that's your brand voice communication.
Mhm. Book.
Mm. The Holy of Holies. There's a lot to this. The shadow is the shadow. Sorry, no. Oh, we'll have to deconstruct this a little bit. The shadow is psychosis. The gift is inspiration, and the city is sanctity. So, with your shadow, it's the pressure of why,
Okay.
right? Both the right and left hemispheres of the brain grapple with the answer to this question, but both are ultimately destined to fail. The right hemisphere seeks to end the pressure through, it says religion, but that's universal talk,
Mhm.
whilst the left hemisphere seeks to end the pressure through science. So they're
Oh my
competing.
gosh. Actually, I have that. I have that woo
Yeah,
versus science thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so a repressive nature for you is sort of disenchantment.
Mm.
Um, you just turn away from the pressure and you just ignore it.
Yeah.
A reactive nature for you is fanatical. So, like, you go really hard one direction or the other. Um,
Yeah.
and then this is interesting. And then the gift is inspiration, God. And whenever we talk about God, so and through my metaphysical stuff too, God is, um, well, you, the
Yeah.
universe, source, whatever you want that to be. So God is pressure. Gift is or inspiration is what happens when you stop worshiping God and start becoming God.
Ooh. Okay.
Um,
Psychosis, though. That.
by its, I know that's why I love art. By its very nature, the gift of inspiration is spiritual because it serves to loosen the hold of your mental constructs, opening and expanding your capacity for love. And then your city is sanctity. So entering into the unknowable. It's
Mhm.
how often do we get to trust and surrender? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's about
Mhm.
living a life without answers. It's about simply becoming the mystery of who you are. And only when all answers finally fall away does the inner truth draw. So remember, this is your brand. This is communication. This
Yeah.
is what people will seek you for,
Seek me for
not psychosis.
not
The
psychosis.
opposite of
Get me out of my psychosis.
that.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
the
yeah.
gene keys are fascinating. And then your Venus, which is where you make money. Venus is the same little person, but no ears.
11.
11. Oh, that's mine. That's the
Yeah.
same one as mine.
I was like, that sounds real familiar.
That's the same one as mine.
That's crazy.
The light of Eden. I love that. That makes so much sense. Like, here we are, right? So obscurity, idealism, and light.
Yeah.
And it says, oh, one final profound revelation coming from the 11th gene key is and its city concerns the consciousness shift connected to the year 2012. When
Hmm.
you read the 55th gene key, you will come to understand, because it's the one that's connected on the other end, you will
Mhm.
come to understand how this date relates to the great change that our human species is currently moving through. Known as the time of the melodic renaissance, 2012 brought our planet into a geometric alignment with the center of our galaxy. This event has predicted and spoken of by many indigenous cultures for many thousands of years, and it's the great wheel of the 64 gene keys.
Hmm.
So fascinating. 2012.
Yeah, I kind of remember that happening. Like people, it was also like predicted to be like the end of the world or something.
It
But
was the year I came out,
oh, really? So there you
like
go.
publicly to everybody. Hmm.
Yeah, that's like um paradigm shifting, right? Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, I'm trying. I don't know what was I was like, I feel like I lost those years because I had like young babies, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, what was I? I had two kids.
I was
I
pregnant
remember.
with my fourth
Yeah,
for half the year. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
just
Isn't that
crazy.
fascinating?
Yeah.
I don't know. We got off on a whole tangent, but it
But
doesn't
I feel
matter.
like that the disenchantment is kind of what it feels like. Like again, there's no reason for me to not be excited about things. I'm just feeling kind of blah today. Just I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
also like I think I'm allowed to have a day. I was like, you can have a day like this. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
I just don't stay here forever.
Just that's it so much of the time is
Yeah.
like be the way you are, feel it. And the more what you resist persists. So the more you push against it, the more you're gonna feel icky.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so like we traveled for the holiday
Mhm.
and got home and my kids were here on Friday night. Saturday was my daughter's 15th birthday, and originally I did not think that we were going to be spending the whole day together. We had
Yeah.
one thing planned and then we were going to have dinner together, and then we ended up she just wanted to hang out all day, so we did, but it was a shift because it wasn't what I had been
Yeah.
expecting, so recalibration there. But it was busy, we stayed busy. So yesterday I only read. That's literally
Yeah.
all I did all day, and I stayed up until I read two books, and I stayed up until 2 a.m. and finished one of them, and I was
Wow.
like, that I want this for myself. I'm gonna let myself have this. And the book was obviously fascinating.
Yeah.
So, um, but for me as a projector, that is part of my rest, is like allowing myself that time to sort of, and also as a 1-3 to like deep dive
Mhm.
focus
Yeah.
on stuff, which are things you can do a lot easier. It's the silver lining of divorce. Not that I'm encouraging you to get a divorce, right? Like I miss my children all the time when I'm not with them, but alone time, my partner happened to be out of town, and as a projector, I
Yes.
love my alone time. Um, you get that.
Yeah. I had a similar thing. Well, I mean, we had my kids were still here, but they've been sleeping in later, and and then my husband was gone. He went to a football game. I slept by myself, which is fantastic, right? I didn't get
Yes.
woken up or anything, and I like woke up naturally before 7, which on a weekend when I can sleep in till whenever, I might sleep until like 8:30 or so. Like,
Yeah.
but it was like I think it was before 7. I remember
Mm.
going, wow, like I'm awake. So maybe, is this what it feels like to to have a restful sleep and then just be awake? It's cool. And then I
Yep. It is exactly what it feels like.
so good. And I spent the morning just doing what I don't even know what I was doing. I was just like being, I don't know, down I was on the computer working on something, but it didn't feel like work. I
I love
honestly don't
that.
even remember what it was. Anyway, it was beautiful just to sit there and be, and it felt so nice. Like I really needed that. And then I didn't sleep as well last night. Just like waking up to hit noises. I'm like, stop it.
Mm.
Stop it.
Oh, noises from your spouse?
Yes, he's like he does this, he like chews his tongue. It's so annoying. Like just like chewing, like stop. I hate mouth sounds.
I
So,
hate mouth sounds too. Hmm.
stop it. And so I slept through. I mean, I turned off my alarm because I was gonna wake up early to go exercise. And I'm having like I'm having a debate in my mind about this is because I want to do my workout, but my story is so strong that if I don't go in the morning, I don't
Uh,
do it. I get distracted. I not distracted. I get there's other things I'd rather do. And so I know that I feel better when I exercise in the morning. And so I'm like, well, that's probably why you don't have very much energy today. And then I'm kind of
oh,
ruminating on
sure.
it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a very similar, like, well, we've talked about this before. My self-care routine, if I don't always get it done in the morning, it's not likely to
Mm,
happen. Um, Although I did do a self-guided hypnosis with, so this is kind of a fun random offshoot. One of my things that I'm learning in my metaphysical PhD program is a daily rebirth set of affirmations just to sort of recalibrate you every morning. And I turned that into a self-guided hypnosis. So I did the all of the hypnosis script part of it, and then I just read them to myself. So I was like,
yeah.
because it says go into a light meditative state or a light self hypnosis state, but I can't do that if I also need to read them because I
Right.
need to not not
Yeah.
be reading. So I was like, oh, let me record it, and I did do that right before this. Um,
Mm,
and of course, my whole self-critical voice was, oh, I got to re-record. I couldn't share this with anybody else. I got to re-record it. I sounded funny when I did that, but I did stay in my hypnotic state because I can
yeah.
always tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. I just did a meditation or a hypnosis about, I don't know, an hour ago. Yeah. Before putting it into my program. I just wanted to do it myself. And I was like, I really hope I don't just criticize myself the entire time I'm listening to it. If I'm editing and I hear a mouth noise, I edit it out. I can't.
I would be the same, but sometimes the music will
Yeah.
cover that up.
Yes, very true. Yeah. But I was like, oh, that was pretty good.
But it's funny that you say that because I am so self-critical that I actually just told my online business manager, Esme, today. I'm starting to send her raw footage and let her edit because I get so stuck in the self-criticism that it takes me forever to do it. Or there are a
Mhm.
lot of things that I would pass up because I'd be like, I don't want anybody to hear that or see that,
Right.
but everybody else in the world is fine with.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, thank you for trusting me not to make you look like an idiot. And I was like, well, if you make me look like an idiot, we both lose. So I'm not worried about it. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
like I just got to get myself out of the middle of this. Let me just
Yeah.
record it and pass it off. And I know you're going to make it sound good.
Absolutely. I know. Like wherever the resistance is, and if it's like behind the scenes or back end work, or if it's content creation or whatever, I love that. Just get get it out of your hands into somebody who's capable and you trust,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Yeah. All right. Well, so what do you have coming up this week? And how are you going to honor your projectorness as you do it?
So I am flying to Omaha for my breakfast.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear. I wish you could come to Chicago for
I
mine.
know, I thought about that. I think they'll send me.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. But yeah, I fly out on Thursday and back on Friday. So the cool thing is that it's only an hour time difference, and I don't even need to get on the time basically because it's so early. The breakfast is so early, right?
Yeah, you can leave
It'll
anytime.
be like not too bad for me because I'm an hour ahead, right? So it'll be my normal, as long as I don't stay
Yeah.
late the night before, which I don't plan to. I plan to spend as much time in that hotel bed by myself as I can. And I don't have to wake up. I mean, I don't have to rush to the air. I have to wake up early to go to the breakfast, but I don't have to rush
Yeah.
to get to the
Yeah.
airport. So, and then this Sunday, I'm just doing a little bit more of a self-care kind of
Mm.
day. Looking forward to that. Have a
Mm.
social event on Saturday, which will be fun, but I'm probably going to be a little tired for that. So I just have to, yeah, like give my build in breaks. But I last night, I know this doesn't sound like so much fun for people, but like I know it was Sunday evening, but I batched work for a client that I had to do. and got most of it done because I will be, my work week's being cut short. So it felt good to have that
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I mean, that's the whole point, is to figure out what's going to make you feel the most expansive
Hmm.
and restful,
Yeah,
and it's not what anybody else is going to do. So,
exactly. Yes.
good
All
for
right.
you.
What's your projector week like?
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm gonna, I hope, be able to get into a little bit of go mode.
Yeah.
Was having this chat with Esme earlier today that here in the US, at least, we are not, and maybe you're having a totally different experience because I know you're launching too. We are not, people are not clicking those buttons so much. It's really slow, and I think it's because there's so much um unknown and what's going to happen, and I suspect that people are going to maybe wait until February to make some bigger decisions because
Mhm. Of inauguration. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And we're worried about money. Like, I think people are just, I think collectively. So we're going
Hmm.
to double down on what I already have that's easy, and just sort of reminding, repurposing things, setting up Pinterest, which I'm not going to have much to do with, but some
Yeah.
reels, some videos to go with it. Um, and just sort of laying the foundation for things, and sort of, seeing what happens. So I feel like I'm going to be able to produce some content and start to grow. I'm trying to learn how to grow the YouTube channel.
Hmm. Yep.
We talked about that, um, without massive video production, because I'm not
Right.
really interested in doing that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, is that going to work? But yeah, we'll see. I am going to start working on the Joy Experiment book and the Joy Experiment program that I'm taking the case study group through. So
Yeah.
balancing all of those things with honoring myself, and I think it's going to be good. It feels like it's going to be a good week.
Yeah. And it sounds like you have like that support in place to help you with that, which is so
Yeah,
important. Yeah.
it's so important to have the help and have the support of somebody that you trust,
Yeah.
um,
Because as
especially
soon as
when their skills are opposite of your own.
true. Yeah. Because yeah, as soon as projectors feel spread thin, that's just not going to work. Like we can't.
Nope.
We won't be able to be in the role that we're really meant to be in when we're spread
Yeah.
thin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sure. Well, I can't wait to hear how your trip to Omaha goes.
Yeah,
And
keep you posted.
um, wishing you just a good, expansive, joy-filled week ahead, my love.
Thank you. You too.
And
We
all
did
of you.
it.
We
Nice
did
try,
it.
Mercury in retrograde.
You cannot beat us. You cannot.
We win.
Bye, everybody.